I have here, this is the new version of Pueblo. Pueblo, this is from Mojito Games, they're taking older games and reprinting them. They often take older games that look great and reprint them looking great, but with some minor production flaws, it always seems. And unfortunately, this one is not any different. I'm going to also show you this Pueblo. This one here is from Korea. So you have a chance to see what this version, this is from Popcorn Games or Platy Games, whichever company. Anyway, these both play the same. I already enjoy this game. That's not a secret. I like it. Let's see how these play. In this game, each player is going to be a specific color, and you don't want to get points. Players are going to have some blocks in front of them. They'll have a block of their color along with a neutral block, and you'll put these in front of you. And on your turn, you pick one of these, and you'll place out either your color or the neutral color. Then next turn, you do the opposite. So when you place it out, maybe orange, so I put it here. You always have to make sure all the parts of the block and every shape is the same. It's the same shape. It has to be down. I can't do this, for example, because nothing's underneath that. You have to touch surfaces with it and place it. Once you're done placing your block, you then can move the chief up to 4 spaces. So let's say I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's spin this here and look at it. You then are going to get points based on what the chief can see. So here the chief can see a pink block on level 1, which will give pink 1 point, and they can see a pink block on level 2, which will give pink 2 points. By the way, this scoring track here is terrible. You have to keep switching these back and forth. I don't know who approved it. It's bad. And also, as a negative note for this particular production, some of the blocks are not glued together properly, which is just, come on now. Anyhow, you could move them differently, but you kind of want to give other people points because points in this game are bad. If you land on the corner, you take a snapshot from above of that quadrant, and you simply get 1 point. So in this case, in this quadrant, blue would get 1 point and yellow would get 2. Obviously, you don't want to put blocks all the way up here because these are going to give 3 points and 4 points if the chief sees them. This is going to continue until all the blocks are placed. Once all the blocks are placed, wherever the chief is, they will then move 1 space at a time and give points for every spot around the board. And then whoever has the least points is the winner. There are ways to make the game harder, and I highly recommend you play with like the sacred ground pieces. You put some of these out at the beginning of the game, and then you can't place on top of them, which makes the game trickier and more difficult. Let's take a look here at this version of Pueblo. This one is in a magnetic box, so the board itself is here in the middle. Everything's smaller. The blocks are still not perfect as you put them together, but they are a better quality, and they're just smaller. So the scoreboard is over here. This is the main board of the game. And then the blocks, everything. Now you're going to have to put everything in here in a very neat order to get everything to fit in this box. But I just want to show you this version of the game, which is from Korea, as opposition to this one. I give Pueblo an 8 out of 10. This one here, I'll give a 6. Unfortunately, I find the components to be that annoying. The fact that the blocks aren't glued together is a pain, but even more of a pain, that is possibly the worst scoring track I've ever seen in my life, because you literally have to take your triangle and flip it back and forth. What? So I have the original Pueblo, which has plastic blocks. That's fine. I get that wooden is better in many situations, but if they're gluing them together, I don't love it. This one is a better game. I like this one, a nice small package. And so this one is the one I would keep out of the two of these, and so I'll give this one the 8. Pueblo is a really good game. I highly recommend you play with those tiles that you start at the beginning, because that forces things to go higher. But using your block and trying to hide your blocks in the pile, that's what you're trying to do, and cover them with the neutral blocks or hide them behind your opponent's pieces. Some fun thing, the fact that every piece is the same works really well. The whole thing comes together in a really fun abstract game. So that is Pueblo.